Rasmus Hojlund, a 20-year-old Danish striker who Manchester United have spent 70-ish million pounds on. But why have United done this? Is it because his name sounds a lot like the player on the other side of Manchester in the robot that is Erling Haaland? Or is it for what he can bring now to a somewhat lackluster United team, as well as the potential that he possesses? Well, that's exactly what we will be discussing in today's video. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Back of the Net here. I hope you're all doing well. Hojlund was born in Copenhagen, Denmark, and later graduated from Copenhagen's youth academy, making his first team debut for the club, aged just 17, in October 2020. During the following season, the 2021 and 2022 season, he made his debut in European competitions, contributing 5 goals in the UEFA Europa Conference League across the qualification rounds and for the tournament itself. In January 2022, Hojlund joined Austrian club Sturm Graz for a reported 1.8 million euros. He scored 12 goals in 21 games across all competitions during the remainder of the 2021-2022 season and for the start of the next season. But speaking of the start of the new season, on 27th of August 2022, Hojlund signed for Serie A club Atalanta in a deal worth a reported 17 million euros. That's quite some profit for Sturm Graz after having Hojlund for just 6 or so months. Big profit for them, almost 16 million euros profit. Rasmus Hojlund scored his first goal for Atalanta on the 5th of September that year in a 2-0 win away at Monza. Initially confined to a substitute role at the beginning of the season, he carved out a place for himself in the squad due to the poor form and injuries of their usual starter in Duvan Zapata. In January 2023, he went on to deliver several convincing performances, notably scoring 4 goals in 4 games for Atalanta. And just 11 months on from signing for Atalanta, Premier League side Manchester United agreed to sign Hojlund from Atalanta for an initial £64 million plus £8 million in performance-related add-ons on July 29, 2023, with the player agreeing a 5-year deal with the option of an extra year. He was then announced officially as a United player on the 5th of August 2023, subject to international clearance, and Hojlund made his debut on the 4th of September 2023, replacing Anthony Martial in the 67th minute of a Premier League match against Arsenal, which ended in a 3-1 defeat away at the Emirates. And then in his first UEFA Champions League game for Manchester United away in Germany against Bayern Munich, in the 49th minute, Rasmus Hojlund grabbed his first goal for the club. Now, around the footballing world, I'm sure we can all agree that signing a 20-year-old with fewer than 100 senior club appearances to his name represents a huge risk, and that might even be an understatement. Ten Hag is looking for a player to score the goals that will help United bridge the gap with their rivals in Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham and so on. And Hojlund has only got 27 senior goals so far in his relatively short career. He had just 9 goals for Atalanta last season, which, to be fair, is quite low for a player that commanded the price that he did. Now, as for the discussion on whether or not United should have got Kane or Hojlund instead, I personally don't think Spurs would have sold Kane to United. Although, unless Kane threw a hissy fit and said, "I only want United," I think Spurs were looking elsewhere on purpose. No one wants to go up against Kane, and I know as an Arsenal fan, especially if he has some motivation against you. So I think United were in the position of whether they can go get this young Danish international striker, has a good physical profile, or if they're going to extensively overpay for a 30-year-old on a 1-year deal with Spurs. And yes, he's going to guarantee goals, but I think United played it safe and rather went for the younger option who has a high ceiling. And I'm not saying he'll be as good as Kane, but definitely has that potential to be one of the elite strikers in Europe. On the surface, United appear to have paid an extremely high price for the Danish international and could easily come to regret that. But he's a player signed for the future more so than the present, although he can most certainly produce in the present. The problem is that United strikers have to hit the ground running with the pressure and all the eyes that are on them. and the haters are ready to write them off after a couple of bad games if they don't hit the ground running. Rarely, if ever, do United strikers get the time to prove they're good enough to play for one of Europe's most successful clubs. Only when Hojlund gets going at United will become clear whether his signing is a masterstroke by the United board and the scouts, or if this is a gamble that just didn't pay off. I think one thing that is for sure and that no one can really dispute is the fact that Hojlund has the physical capabilities to be an elite level striker. He's tall, he's quick, he's strong, and at just 20 years old, to be honest, the sky is the limit for him. But can Ten Hag and the rest of the United coaches get the best out of him so that he can fulfill his potential? Or is he going to be another wonder kid that faded away, like for example Adnan Januzaj? Personally, I see a player that with the right development in 4 or 5 years can be one of the best strikers in Europe. Like I said, he has all the physical traits, he certainly seems to have the mindset, but it's if he will be able to do so is a whole nother question. But with all that being said, I would love to know what you guys make of the signing and how you guys think that Hojlund's career will play out at United. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.